Welcome in to Knicks Media. My name is Richie Milora. We are live here on Bleacher Report talking all things New York Knicks on a 2-game winning streak. Jaylen Brunson nearing his return as the NBA playoffs is right around the corner, folks. The Knicks are solidified as the 3rd seed. If you look at the NBA standings today, the Knicks are your 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. So you look across the NBA world, you look more specifically in the Eastern Conference. Who will the Knicks face off against in the first round of the NBA playoffs? The last time I talked to you guys was last week, and I said Friday night's game against the Milwaukee Bucks could be a little preview of who the Knicks are going to take on in round number 1. And the Knicks were able to get the job done against the Milwaukee Bucks on Friday. They got the job done against the Portland Trail Blazers at home on Sunday. And now they have a game tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers as we wait for the return of Jaylen Brunson, Deuce McBride, and Cameron Payne. The Knicks have been winning. Despite all their injuries, they are still sitting as that 3rd seed in the East. And I wanted to come on here and talk some chop with you folks. So I appreciate everybody tuning in right now on the live chat. Make sure you guys let me know your overall thoughts of this Knicks team as we enter the back end of the season. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the update on Mr. Jaylen Brunson. When is Jaylen Brunson going to return? I got some good news about that, folks. When will JB return? Now, the latest we're hearing from Jaylen Brunson himself is he is expecting himself to be back a few games before the NBA playoffs, right? That's a really positive news, folks, that Jaylen Brunson is expecting to be back before the NBA playoffs. This was always the hope. This is what we're hoping, but hearing from himself, hearing from JB go out there and say that he's, not cleared for full, 5v5 yet, but he is cleared for basketball activities, and he is hoping to get back on the court for the New York Knicks in time for the NBA playoffs. And a really important element to getting JB back ASAP is this. He said to himself, quote, "Realistically, I'm hoping to play before the playoffs. I think that's as good for me to get some game reps before we got into that type of stretch run. But most importantly, I want to make sure I'm 100% healthy." Now, something to note here, I think Jaylen Brunson needs to play 4 games in order to be eligible for all the awards. Clutch Player of the Year, All-NBA. You know that there was a new rule that the NBA implemented where you have to play, I believe it's 65 games in the NBA in order to be eligible to get those awards. Now, I'm not going to say the Knicks are going to rush him back so we can get eligible for those awards, but I think that's definitely on the mind of JB, that he wants to return and play 4 games, not only to get up to speed, but to be eligible for Clutch Player of the Year, which he should win, by the way, and then All-NBA. So big time shout out to Jaylen Brunson. He also said, "I'm doing rehab stuff. More days as of recently have just been cranking up 2 a days if I have to, but whatever I can do to improve myself, it's what I'm doing." Now, the good news is we're getting him back for the playoffs, and I think that should give some Knicks fans some reason to be optimistic of this Knicks team going into the NBA playoffs. Now, you saw what the Knicks did on Friday night against the Milwaukee Bucks, Sunday against the Portland Trail Blazers. The cool thing about this Knicks team is, of course, they're not perfect without JB, but they're showing their resilience. They're showing their fight and their ability to deal with adversity. And I feel like the game against the Portland Trail Blazers is exactly what I'm talking about here. From the standpoint, if you look at what this Knicks team looked like against the Trailblazers Sunday, the Knicks went out there and were down by 14 points, right, in the 3rd quarter, but then they bounced all the way back and won the game 110-93. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is this game shows you that this team is strong-willed. They got a lot of strong-minded players, and listen, the Trailblazers are not a good basketball team. But my point here is this Knicks team was down by 14 points in the 3rd quarter. They easily could have said, all right, tonight's not our night. Let's hang it up. But at home, they went on a run. They went on a 3rd quarter run led by OG Anunoby's defense. Mikal Bridges got hot. Karl-Anthony Towns. I mean, you saw what this Knicks team is capable of, and getting 28 points apiece from both Bridges and OG Anunoby, I think really meant a lot to this basketball team. Shout out to Delon Wright, who actually has been subbed in for the injured Jaylen Brunson and Cameron Payne and Deuce McBride as the starting point guard. A lot of Knicks fans wanted Tyler Kolek to get the nod, but it's been Jalen Wright. And another player that's been really impressing me recently has been Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is such a polarizing figure amongst Knicks Nation, but I'm here to give him his flowers, man. I really feel like his offense has been playing very efficient ball, and I love his ability to get into the lane and just have those mid-range fadeaway shots. It seems like they're unguardable at some point. And the fact that he's going out there playing 40 minutes on Sunday, 28 points, 7 assists. I mean, the fact that this guy is available every single game, I wanted to come on here and highlight Mikal Bridges because he deserves an opportunity to get some love, in my opinion. The Knicks are winners of 2 straight, and Mikal Bridges has a reason in both of those. And I think that he has a big opportunity ahead of himself in terms of getting ready for the NBA playoffs for this Knicks team. And I think when Jaylen Brunson going down with that injury, and then now with Mikal Bridges being able to find himself, okay, how do I work in with OG now and Cat? And when JB's not on the court, I got to find my own shot because JB usually finds it for me. So he's been creating his own shot, which I love. He's been more aggressive to the rim, attacking the paint, getting more playmaking opportunities as well. When the ball's in his hands, he's not only shooting the ball, but of course he's getting his teammates involved more often. And I think that, again, has a lot to do with JB being sidelined. So the big question is, what's this Knicks team going to look like when Jaylen Brunson makes his return? Are we going to feel like it's the final Infinity Stone and we're going to be able to go on a run? And I got to be honest, man, I like this Knicks team. I like how they match up against the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, I know we match up against them Friday, but I really feel like this Knicks team against the Milwaukee Bucks, I like that matchup for the New York Knicks. Now, I know that Giannis is definitely a different animal when it comes to the postseason, and we should definitely be aware of that. Of course, the experience of the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis, but with their injuries with Damian Lillard, out there, not out there with the blood clots, unfortunately, for Milwaukee, I feel like a first-round matchup against Milwaukee is very likely. If you look at the NBA standings right now, if the season ended today, I'm pretty sure that's what the matchup would be. And yeah, you look at your screen now, you see this Knicks team. They're pretty much, I don't want to say guaranteed the 3rd seed yet because we still got some basketball left to be played. 8 games, I believe, are remaining in the NBA season for the New York Knicks. But we're sitting there as the 3rd seed pretty comfortably. The Indiana Pacers have won their last game, but you look at the Knicks, they're pretty much set up as the 3rd seed as of now, unless they lose 7 of the last 8 games or something catastrophic. And then you look at Milwaukee, they're a game and a half back from the Detroit Pistons. So if the season ended today, the Knicks are taking on the Bucks in round 1. You got Pacers, Pistons in round 1, which would be a really fun matchup from an NBA standpoint. Celtics against the Hawks. That's going to be just an absolute dominant, probably from Boston. And then, of course, Cleveland. So the Knicks going up against Milwaukee, definitely be a big test. I think them losing 4 in a row, like the cool thing about the Knicks taking on the Bucks in round 1 is I always been very consistent with this right here. You have to be playing your best brand of basketball entering the postseason. I always believe that. And I feel like getting a Milwaukee Bucks team that's struggling entering the NBA playoffs is definitely beneficial for the Knicks. And if the Knicks can gain some steam, of course, and get some confidence and get some rhythm that of their own with JB returns. And I think that's something you got to look at. And I feel like the Jaylen Brunson injury is interesting because you can look at it from a lot of different angles. Obviously, we never want JB injured, and it's unfortunate that he went down. But at the end of the day, you look at what this Knicks team has been able to do. I absolutely feel like JB going down is giving other people around this Knicks basketball team opportunities, like Mikal Bridges. Deuce McBride got a chance before he went down. Now Jaylen Wright's getting an opportunity. Tyler Kolek's getting some minutes. Landry Shamet off the bench. I mean, we're seeing some different elements of this Knicks basketball team out there, and I'm really, really excited to see what it looks like. And big shout out to Landry Shamet as well, as Connor says in the chat here. Landry Shamet has done an incredible job picking up the slack from Payne, McBride, and Brunson. Could be a reliable bench option in the NBA playoffs. Now, you talk about Landry Shamet, right? What's the first thing that comes to your mind if you're a Knicks fan, right? Shooting, right? We need a shooter in the NBA playoffs, especially off the bench. And I feel like that's exactly what he's been providing. So I do agree big time that Landry Shamet has been a big time asset for this Knicks basketball team this season. I love it. And you look at what this Knicks team had last year in the NBA playoffs. It was Dante DiVincenzo. And boy, how about that Dante DiVincenzo fight? Missed that dog, right? But at the end of the day, I feel like Landry Shamet is our new version of Dante DiVincenzo. Definitely not as good. Not making the comparison. The only comparison I'm making is it's a sharpshooter off the bench that this Knicks team really desperately needs. And I feel like this is a veteran that you can rely on, and he could be the secret weapon. If he can come in off the bench and put up the points that he's been putting up in these last few games, absolutely love it. 11 points on Sunday in 19 minutes, 3 of 6 from downtown. That's all you can ask for. On Friday against the Bucks, he had 13 points, 3 of 5 from downtown. Like, this is what I'm talking about from a sharpshooter off the bench. So big-time shout-out to Landry Shamet. His ability to give you 3 threes off the bench is exactly what you need. And I feel like the bench has been the biggest concerning element of this Knicks basketball team all season because they went all in on the starting 5. They traded all their bench. They traded quickly. They traded RJ. They traded Obi. I mean, I'm going back in years, of course. They traded a lot of their assets for. They, of course, traded Randall and Dante DiVincenzo. Dante was the big reason of their bench success. So their bench has been pretty thin this year. So the fact that Landry Shamet has stepped up in the absence of Cameron Payne, in the absence of Deuce McBride, big time shout out to him. Now, another player off the bench who's coming off a really big game, Sunday, was Precious Achiuwa, man. Precious Achiuwa, I love Precious. I mean, how can you not like Precious Achiuwa, a New York native, all right? And I feel like what he did on Sunday was very impressive to me personally. And I feel like if you're a Knicks fan, you could be excited about the idea of Precious Achiuwa making a positive impact in the NBA playoffs. You look at his ability to push the ball in transition, his length, his size, finding his shot even with the spin move. I mean, getting to the cup, being aggressive, being athletic, defending the paint. Absolutely love what I saw from Precious Achiuwa. Another key element to the depth of this Knicks basketball team. Now, you look at another player that's been probably playing the best basketball of his entire NBA career right now is Mr. OG Anunoby himself. I mean, OG Anunoby nominated for NBA Eastern Conference Defensive Player of the Month, folks. Can we talk about that real quick? Can we talk about it? OG Anunoby has been playing fantastic basketball. I mean, you talk about a 6'10" defensive demon that's going out there, pushing the ball in transition, getting into the passing lanes, turning defense into easy offense. He's been a joy to watch, man. And I feel like if there's one person that's benefited the most from Jaylen Brunson's injury, it's OG Anunoby, because he's kind of, I don't know if the numbers back it up, but if you watch the games recently, I know Cat's banged up, but OG kind of took over as the number one scorer. I mean, Cat is definitely the number one scorer without JB, but OG's kind of really been a player that's been elevating his game from an offensive standpoint. And his defense, of course, is very, very imperative for this Knicks basketball team. And I feel like if you're a Knicks fan, you got to be jumping up for joy of what OG Anunoby has been providing for this Knicks basketball team, because 28 points, efficiency offensively, finding his bucket. You can only imagine the type of impact OG is going to have for this Knicks team in the NBA playoffs. Let's not forget the impact he had last year in the playoffs before, of course, he went down with that hamstring injury. The Knicks were up 2-0 against the Pacers in round number 2. And then OG was on an absolute tear the game he hurt his hamstring in game 2 against the Pacers last year. He had like 20-something points in the first half, I believe. He was going crazy. And then he hurt his hamstring. And then the Knicks playoff series went downhill from there. And then OG goes out there in game 7 on one leg, remember, and hits a few shots. And they're like, all right, OG can't walk. He literally can't move out there on the court. Get him out. So if there was an X factor for this Knicks team, in my opinion, it's got to be OG Anunoby, man. It's got to be OG Anunoby. I think that is something that you look at what OG brings to the table. It's that and then some. So big time shout out to OG Anunoby for being nominated, by the way, nominated for Defensive Player of the Month. Now, another player that we got to celebrate today is definitely Mr. Mitchell Robinson. It is his birthday. It's his 27th birthday today. And I have a fun fact. Today is also my birthday, and it is also my 27th birthday. Mitchell Robinson is a long-lost twin. I know we don't look exactly alike because he's 7 foot, but at the end of the day, I'm a big fan of Mitchell Robinson. Today is his 27th birthday, and April 1st is also my birthday. So I do share this day with Mitch. when we drafted him and I saw that his birthday is April 1st, 1998, I was like, yo, that's my exact birthday to the year. So I feel like what Mitchell Robinson has been providing to this Knicks basketball team is nothing short of positive stuff, man. So I really, really am excited to see what Mitchell Robinson brings to the table as he gets healthier and healthier. I feel like he's been getting better and better every single game. He has been showing improvements. I know that his minutes has been sporadic. I know that 14 minutes against the Blazers Sunday only had, not really a lot of playing time out there. 2 points, 4 boards, 2 dimes, 2 blocks. I'm excited to see what it looks like tonight because there is an unfortunate news actually tonight regarding some injuries. Now, the latest that I'm seeing is that Karl-Anthony Towns may be out. Karl-Anthony Towns may be out tonight with an injury. He's questionable, right? So it's not confirmed that he's going to be out yet, but there is a chance that Karl-Anthony Towns is down tonight. He has been ruled questionable due to a knee injury. And I think it's that same injury he had where now it's just they're being cautious with it and they're maintaining the injury more than anything. But definitely something to note here because you have to look at the injuries. You got Cameron Payne still out, Jaylen Brunson still out, Deuce McBride still out, but then Cat got added to the injury report, questionable with left knee soreness. So right there tells you that the Knicks are playing it safe. And if he's got knee soreness against the Philadelphia 76ers team, that's not even good, rest him. I don't need any other injuries. We need this team at full strength heading into the NBA playoffs. We already have 3 point guards injured. We don't need Cat injured. We got Mitch back. So I expect Cat to not play tonight. But then again, there's a part of me that's like, oh, that means he's playing 40 minutes because Tom Thibodeau doesn't care about injuries, right? I mean, that's the running joke with this Knicks basketball team. And I feel like a lot of people have been growing sick of Mr. Tom Thibodeau as of late. But he's got a big chance to win this fan base over if they can go on a deep playoff run very, very soon. Now, there's another player on this Knicks basketball team that I feel like has been a huge X factor and deserves a lot of love right now. He does deserve a lot of love, in my opinion. And I feel like you look at what Mr. Josh Hart has done with this Knicks basketball team. He's having a career season, bro. He is having a career year with this Knicks basketball team. And I think that is something that if you're a Knicks fan, you should be very, very, very pleased with how he's been playing as of late. So let me put a nice photo of Mr. Josh Hart himself on your screen because I feel like what Josh Hart's doing, talk about X Factor, talk about ability to push the ball, talk about somebody that is willing to do whatever it takes to win basketball games. It's Josh Hart. He's going out there and getting a triple-double every other night. I mean, he did not have a triple-double Sunday, but he might as well. And let me tell you this. If Josh Hart can start scoring at an efficient clip, watch out. Okay, watch out. On Sunday against Portland, he had 14 points, 5 of 10 from the field, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, and 3 steals. Josh Hart is the X factor of this Knicks basketball team. You can make a debate. There's a lot of guys on this Knicks team you can say is the X factor, but the reason why I roll with Josh Hart the most is because you can't replace him. There's nobody in the league that you can even compare Josh Hart to. He is a one of one, and I feel like that is unique when you have a player that plays at the level of Josh Hart in terms of the hustle, the heart that he plays with, no pun intended, the ability to push the ball in transition, rebounding at a high clip. I mean, I also love that he's not afraid to shoot. I feel like there's some times where he's very passive and he likes to facilitate too much, but I feel like when teams have been not guarding him up at the 3-point line, he's been being dared to shoot, and he's taking full advantage of it. And I love that. I think his ability to shoot the ball from downtown and hit it in an efficient clip. Let's also not forget what Josh Hart did last year in the NBA playoffs. He had a clutch shot to win the game. Who was it against? Was it against Philadelphia? But there was a shot that Josh Hart hit, bro. Multiple shots, I believe, in the clutch. When they're double teaming Jaylen Brunson, you needed somebody to step up. It was Josh Hart. And I feel like he has another big playoff appearance ahead of him that I'm really, really excited for. So big shout out to Mr. Josh Hart because he's been playing out of his mind this season. And he deserves a lot of love, bro, because there's a lot of players on this Knicks team this year that's having career years, and Josh Hart's one of them. So when you're having a career year, I'm going to celebrate you because you deserve to be celebrated. So big time shout out to Josh Hart, who is a big reason why this Knicks team is where they are right now in the NBA standings. Being 47-27, I hope Knicks fans are not taking that for granted. And I feel like some are. I don't want to sit here and sound like I'm calling out some Knicks fans, but I want to remind everybody, like, this Knicks team is 47-27. That's 20 games above 500. Don't let the Cavs and the Celtics and other teams in the West delude you to the fact that this Knicks team is a very good ball club. They are 20 games above 500. And let's not forget where we came from. I feel like some Knicks fans forget. Like, we have established ourselves as one of the top teams in the NBA. Now you're going to say right away, well, Richie, we can't beat the great teams. We can't beat OKC. We can't beat Boston. We can't beat Cleveland. We haven't beat them yet in the regular season. But everything changes in the playoffs. And I love to remind everybody that this Knicks team has proven back-to-back years that we are built for the postseason. And I believe that this roster is going to prove itself in the NBA playoffs. I really do believe that. Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby in the NBA playoffs is going to be a really dynamic defensive duo. Mitchell Robinson at full strength is going to be an absolute dynamic piece to defend the paint and run fast in transition and do all that fun stuff. And then Cat, bro, like Karl-Anthony Towns, if he's hot, if he's scoring, if he's fully healthy, he can get you that 25, 10, and 6. I mean, mixed in with Jaylen Brunson, I'm telling you right now, yes, I believe we could beat the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round, but dare I say, I believe this Knicks team can contend against Boston or Cleveland. I don't know, man. I may be getting ahead of myself here, but I'm dreaming big. And I'm not afraid to say I'm confident in my squad. And I genuinely believe that. And a big reason why I'm confident in my squad, I don't want to say it's because of one reason and one individual, but I kind of feel like that's the case. This player right here on your screen, I have so much confidence in this man, Jaylen Brunson. I really, really do. And the reason why I got confidence in him is what he showed us as Knicks fans last year in the NBA playoffs, bro. What we saw from Jaylen Brunson last year in the NBA playoffs should not be forgotten. Even 2 years ago, the man levels up his game when it matters the most. Even go into his time in Dallas. When Luka Doncic got hurt and he had to step up in the playoffs, he went out there and dropped 40 burgers to lead the Mavericks to the Western Conference Finals. Oh, even going to college. Jaylen Brunson, two-time national champion, steps up when you need to be at your highest. When the pressure is at its highest, he steps up. And that's the quality to Jaylen Brunson that I absolutely love the most. And every single Knicks fan should adore Jaylen Brunson for that. Clutch Player of the Year candidate, should win it, if eligible, of course. And when the pressure is at its highest, I trust Jaylen Brunson. And I feel like we haven't even tapped into the full potential of him yet. And I feel like it's so unfortunate. The timing of his injury was devastating because he started playing MVP level ball like we saw last year, putting the team on his back, putting up 30, 35, playing the floor general, getting his teammates involved, doing all you need. And now he's coming back just in time for the NBA playoffs, and he's got a chip on his shoulder. I guarantee you, that turnover he had in Game 6 against the Heat 2 years ago to eliminate the Knicks from the playoffs 2 years ago still lives rent-free in his mind. Last year, I'm sure, him breaking his hand and going out the way that he went out, I'm sure that still lives rent-free in his brain. He's got a lot of chips on his shoulder. He wants to prove people wrong. And another thing about this Knicks team and Jaylen Brunson, bro, the whole world is against us, it feels like. Why does it feel like the basketball world is against this Knicks team? And what I mean by that is we're underdogs. We're the 3rd seed, but no one's giving the Knicks team even a chance to contend in the NBA playoffs. And you know what? Good. I embrace that energy. I hope that a lot of teams around the NBA and the NBA media sleeps on the New York Knicks and does not give us any chance. You know what? Take Milwaukee in round 1 because that's what they did last year. Everyone thought the Sixers are going to beat the Knicks. We're a fraud 2nd seed. We don't belong to be a 2nd seed. Yada, yada, yada. The Sixers are the better team. They just dealt with injuries. That's why they're the 7th seed. All right, we beat the Sixers in 6. And then, of course, the injuries caught up to us last year. So my point is, I think that this Knicks team, with the fan base that we have, rallying around them, taking advantage of home court in the first round of the playoffs, they got to win their games at home, of course. And then if they can get through the first round, you never know the magic that can happen in an NBA postseason. You never know. You look across the NBA, crazy stuff has happened. And I'm not ruling out this Knicks team going out there and being a dominant basketball squad in the NBA playoffs. And that's because of Jaylen Brunson. And now he's got Cat to work. I mean, we're seeing this Knicks team go out there and execute every single night. They're not perfect. They're flawed, but every basketball team has their flaws. And what makes the NBA playoffs so fun and entertaining is you get to go up against the same team for a whole playoff series. You get to adjust. You get to see the strengths, see the weaknesses, attack the weaknesses, hone in on your strengths, and figure out who's hot, who's not. And I cannot wait for the NBA playoffs, man. It's fun. Now that we're in the month of April, it's right around the corner, man. It really is. I mean, when is the first game of the NBA playoffs? It's what, in 3 weeks from now, I'm assuming, because the NBA regular season ends in a few weeks, right? The last game of the regular season is April 13th against the Brooklyn Nets. And then that week is going to be the play-in tournament. And then I'm assuming that next weekend, the 18th, 19th of April, is going to be the New York Knicks home opener against whatever team in the NBA playoffs. Woo! I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait. It's always a great time, if you're a Knicks fan, to be excited because we got a lot of fun things planned, man, as a Knicks fan base. Now, talking real quick about tonight's matchup against the Philadelphia 76ers, we will still be without Jaylen Brunson. We will still be without Jaylen Brunson, and that's okay because we got guys like OG Anunoby who's been stepping up in his place and playing fantastic ball. So the Knicks are taking on the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. I'm pretty sure that the Knicks are heavy favorites. I mean, the Sixers have fell off the face of the earth, 23-52 on the season, officially eliminated from playoff contention. So the Knicks are still fighting to solidify themselves as a third seed in the Eastern Conference. So I'm expecting this Knicks team to cruise to victory tonight. And I'm excited to watch this game because I feel like you can gain some confidence, gain some rhythm in a game like this tonight. And potentially without Karl-Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson can be healthy and start. Delon Wright still filling in as the solid vet who's keeping this team together. Tyler Kolek off the bench. Precious expect to play a lot more minutes tonight if Cat's sidelined with an injury. And then big-time games throughout this next few weeks. Tomorrow against the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's going to be a huge game for the Knicks. And then you're at Atlanta on Saturday, home against Phoenix, home against Boston, and then away against Detroit, home against Cleveland. So the Knicks have very interesting games on their schedule, and I'm expecting JB, if he was to come back this coming Sunday against Phoenix, is a game I look at. If not then, maybe April 8th, a week from today, against the Boston Celtics at home. Could be when Jaylen Brunson returns because, again, he needs to play 4 games in order to be eligible for awards. And speaking of awards, the man on your screen, OG Anunoby, he deserves to be an all-NBA defensive player 100%, even getting some defensive player of the year votes, in my opinion. He's been that good this year, especially against Portland, bro. That guy went out there and how many steals did he even finish with? What OG Anunoby does, man, stealing the ball at a high clip, it's great. He had 2 blocks and 3 steals. OG did against Portland. The man is on a mission, and the man executes at its highest capacity. So, folks, this Knicks basketball team is ready to go crazy. And I'm excited because Knicks basketball is coming up in the NBA playoffs, and the Knicks start to play. I personally cannot wait to start covering the Knicks in the playoffs here on Bleacher Report. Don't forget, folks, we're live on Bleacher Report right now, so come over to the great Bleacher Report app. If you're new to the Bleacher Report app, please do me a favor and share this with your family, with your friends. We're going to sign off here on Bleacher Report, and I'm going to go enjoy my birthday dinner. So I appreciate you guys big time here on Bleacher Report. Much love to everybody. Peace. And, folks, we're still live on YouTube. And I appreciate you guys here on YouTube. And just know when I'm live on Bleacher Report, I can't be looking at the chat on YouTube at the same time. So I want to recognize everybody in the chat real quick before we sign off. Jamal wishing a happy birthday. Thank you. Corey's in the chat. Thank you, man. Appreciate the birthday wishes, guys. Nimar, love Josh Hart. He's got Hart. Absolutely. Eric's in the chat. I appreciate that big time, man. Appreciate you. Connor's in the chat. Richie, I'm not even a Knicks fan, and I'm saying that. Sadly, I'm a Nets fan, but I'm a Knicks writer supporter. There you go. That's why you got to cover, man. I appreciate you tuning into Knicks Media, Connor. Much love to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys big time. Love you all so much. I'm going to go enjoy my birthday dinner, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out and enjoy the rest of your night, and let's go Knicks.